Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive where we'll be exploring mind hacking.
Ooh, that sounds pretty intense.
It is, but in a good way. It's all about learning how to upgrade your mental software, so to speak.
I like that analogy. Mental software.
Yeah, for a better you.
Mm,
Things like better mental health,
right.
skyrocketing your productivity. Um,
Who wouldn't want that?
exactly. Stronger relationships, crushing those goals
Hmm.
that you've always wanted to achieve. And it turns out there are some really clever techniques to help you do all that.
So, like, what kind of techniques are we talking about?
Well, our guide for this deep dive is mind hacking. Reprogram your mind for success.
Catchy title.
It is.
Hmm.
And it's from That's Life 24/7.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. They cover all sorts of interesting stuff.
They do. And this book in particular is jam-packed with different mind hacking techniques. But before we jump into those,
Okay.
I think it's important to understand the science behind it all.
Yeah, for sure. Because it might sound a little woo-woo to some people.
It might, but it's actually rooted in solid scientific principles, particularly neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. Now, that's a word I haven't heard in a while.
Well, it basically means that your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your experiences.
Yeah.
So every thought, every action you take,
Ah.
it's shaping the physical structure of your brain.
So we're not just stuck with the brain we were born with.
Not at all.
We can actually, like, mold it to be more effective.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. It's like learning a new language.
Yeah.
As you practice, you're creating new neural pathways and strengthening those connections in your brain.
Ah, so it's the same principle with mind hacking.
Exactly.
Cool. So what are some of the tools in this mind hacking toolkit?
Well, one of the most popular and effective techniques is called cognitive restructuring.
Cognitive restructuring.
Yeah, it basically helps you become a thought detective.
A thought detective.
Yeah. You know those negative thoughts that pop up all the time? Like,
Oh, yeah, all the
I'm
time.
not good enough. I'll never be able to do this, or all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Totally.
So cognitive restructuring helps you examine those thoughts like a detective would investigate a case.
Interesting.
You look for evidence, you challenge assumptions, and see if those thoughts actually hold up under scrutiny.
So you're putting those negative thoughts on trial,
Exactly.
seeing if they're actually guilty of holding you back.
Right. So let's say you're someone who constantly thinks, I'm terrible at public speaking.
Yeah, classic.
It is. So you would start by gathering evidence. Like, have you ever received positive feedback after a presentation?
Mm.
Were there parts you felt good about?
Okay, yeah.
By looking at the situation objectively,
Right.
you can start to replace that negative limiting thought with a more balanced and realistic one.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So instead of, I'm terrible at public speaking, maybe it's, public speaking is a skill I'm still developing.
Okay.
And with practice, I can improve.
Yeah, that's a much more empowering way to look at it.
Exactly. It's like reframing the story you tell yourself.
Mhm.
You're turning it into a more positive and empowering narrative.
Love it.
And the best part is that by changing your thoughts,
Mm.
you can actually reduce anxiety,
Oh, wow.
boost your self-confidence, and feel more in control.
So it's like you're taking charge of your own mental well-being.
Exactly. Now, another really cool mind-hacking technique is mindfulness.
Mindfulness. I've heard that word a lot, but I'm not sure I fully understand it.
Well, it's all about training your mind to be present and aware,
Okay.
without judgment. Think of it like watching clouds drift by.
Hmm.
You observe them, you acknowledge them,
Okay.
but you don't get carried away by them.
So it's not about, like, emptying your mind
Not at all.
or forcing yourself to think happy thoughts.
No, it's more about becoming an observer of your own thoughts and feelings.
Oh, that's interesting. So how do you actually practice mindfulness?
Well, a great starting point is focusing on your breath. Just notice the sensation of each inhale and exhale. And when your mind wanders, which it inevitably will,
It always does.
gently guide it back to your breath without judgment.
Seems simple enough.
It is, and you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Right. Makes sense.
And as you get more comfortable with that,
Yeah.
you can start to extend mindfulness to everyday activities.
Oh, okay. How so?
Like pay attention to the sensations, thoughts, and emotions that arise while you eat,
Mm-hmm.
walk,
Okay.
or even wash the dishes.
So it's about being fully present in each moment, no matter what you're doing.
Exactly.
I can see how that could be really helpful for reducing stress
It definitely can.
and just creating a sense of calm in our crazy, busy world.
Absolutely. Mindfulness helps you create a space between your thoughts and your reactions so you can respond to situations with more clarity and composure.
It's like building an inner sanctuary
Yeah,
where you can find peace amidst the chaos.
exactly. Okay, so We've talked about cognitive restructuring and mindfulness.
Powerful stuff.
It is. But there's one more technique I want to touch on before we move on.
And that is?
Visualization.
Ooh, visualization. I've heard good things about that.
It's a good one. And it's all about harnessing the power of your imagination to achieve your goals.
So you're basically creating a mental movie of your desired outcome
You got it.
and playing it over and over in your mind.
Exactly. It's like an athlete visualizing a perfect performance.
Right. Like mental rehearsal.
Exactly. And the amazing thing is when you vividly imagine yourself doing something, your brain fires many of the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Seriously.
seriously?
So it's like tricking your brain into believing it's already achieved the goal?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Which then makes it more likely to actually happen.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It is. And the key to effective visualization is to engage all your senses,
All of them.
as many as you can.
Yeah.
So what do you see, hear, feel, even smell in your mental movie? The more vivid and realistic the image, the more powerful the impact.
It's like creating a blueprint for success in your mind, paving the way for it to manifest in reality.
I love it.
This is powerful stuff.
It is. And when combined with the other techniques we've discussed, it can truly transform your life.
So now that we've got a taste of these mind-hacking techniques,
Yeah,
I bet you're wondering how they can actually level up your life.
absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
it all sounds amazing in theory,
Right.
but how can I use this to, be more productive,
Yeah.
manage my emotions better,
Mm-hmm.
and finally reach those goals I've been aiming for?
Well, let's start with productivity.
Yep.
One mind hack that's super effective is the covert start technique.
Covert start.
Yeah. It's all about outsmarting your brain's resistance to getting started
Interesting.
on big tasks,
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
So how does it work? Well, instead of getting overwhelmed by a huge project,
Okay.
you simply commit to working on it for just 5 minutes.
5 minutes, that's it.
That's it. By setting such a small goal, you kind of bypass your brain's tendency to procrastinate.
That's sneaky. I like it.
And the amazing thing is once you've started those 5 minutes, momentum often takes over.
Really?
And you find yourself working much longer than you initially planned.
It's like tricking your brain into doing what you want.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's really effective.
So what else? What other productivity hacks are there?
Well, another great one is time blocking.
Time blocking, okay.
This involves scheduling focused work periods followed by short breaks.
Oh, that makes sense.
It helps you work in sync with your brain's natural rhythms.
Yeah, we can't expect ourselves to be on all the time, right?
Exactly. Our brains need those breaks to recharge
Right.
and come back even stronger.
I'm definitely guilty of trying to push through sometimes.
Yeah, we all do it.
But I could see how those breaks could make a big difference.
They definitely can. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about how mind hacking can help you become a master of your emotions.
Now, this is something I definitely need help with.
Don't we all?
Probably. My emotions sometimes feel like a roller coaster that I can't get off of.
Well, mind hacking gives you the tools to take control of that roller coaster and steer it in the direction you want to go.
Sign me up.
One powerful technique is developing an emotional vocabulary.
Emotional vocabulary.
Yeah, instead of just labeling your feelings as good or bad,
Yeah.
get specific.
Specific how?
Like, are you feeling frustrated, anxious, disappointed, or maybe even excited?
Oh, so it's about being more precise with how we describe our emotions. Why is that so
Yes.
important?
Because that precision allows you to understand yourself better and respond to situations more effectively.
So when you can accurately pinpoint how you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose more helpful responses
Right.
instead of just reacting impulsively.
Exactly. It's like having a roadmap of your emotions so you can navigate them more skillfully.
I like that. A roadmap. So
Yeah.
are there any other techniques for managing emotions?
Well, you can also create mental shortcuts.
Rental shortcuts.
Yeah, to help you shift into desired emotional states.
Oh, interesting. So like, what, can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you have a big presentation coming up and you're feeling nervous.
Oh, the worst.
You could create a mental shortcut that instantly evokes a feeling of calm and confidence.
Okay, but how do you actually do that?
Well, it could be a memory of a time you felt incredibly confident,
Mm-hmm.
a calming image that brings you peace, or even a powerful affirmation that resonates with you.
Oh, I see.
And by regularly accessing this mental shortcut, you can train your brain to respond calmly and confidently, even in those challenging situations.
That's amazing. It's like having a secret weapon against stress and anxiety.
It is, and the best part is the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
So it's like building mental muscle memory for positivity and resilience.
Exactly.
Love it. Okay, so we've covered productivity and emotional management,
Yeah.
but what about goal achievement? I'm a big goal setter, but sometimes I really struggle to actually make them happen.
Well, mind hacking can help turn those goals from wishes into actionable plans.
Okay, I'm listening.
It all starts with creating a detailed mental blueprint for success.
A mental blueprint.
Yeah. Begin by breaking down your goal into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
Then visualize yourself successfully completing each step.
So you're making the goal feel less daunting.
Right.
By breaking it down.
Exactly.
Creating that step-by-step plan in your mind.
You got it. You can also use backward planning.
Backward planning, what's that?
Well, you start with your end goal
Okay.
and work backward,
Oh, interesting.
identifying each necessary step along the way.
So it's like creating a roadmap for success.
Exactly. Now, another powerful technique is mental rehearsal.
Mental rehearsal, okay.
This is where you imagine yourself encountering obstacles and then successfully overcoming them.
So you're training your brain to be more resilient
Exactly.
in the face of setbacks.
Precisely. And don't forget about the power of positive self-talk.
Oh, yes, positive affirmations. I love those.
Replace those negative limiting beliefs with statements that support your goals.
It's all about creating a positive and supportive inner dialogue.
Right. That empowers you to move forward.
So it sounds like mind hacking is not just about achieving specific goals,
Right.
but it's also about developing a more positive and empowered mindset overall.
Exactly.
Wow. I got to say, I'm feeling pretty energized after exploring all these mind hacking techniques.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff, isn't it?
It is. It's like a whole new world of possibilities has opened up.
And the best part is, it's all within your reach.
Exactly.
You don't need any special equipment or fancy training.
Right.
All you need is the willingness to explore and experiment.
And the potential benefits are huge.
They are.
We're talking about reduced stress, improved focus, increased confidence, a greater sense of control over our own lives.
It's like giving yourself a mental upgrade.
Not that.
Empowering you to become the best version of yourself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into mind hacking,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with a challenge.
Ooh, a
challenge. Think about one small mental shift you can make today to create a positive change in your life.
One small mental shift.
It could be replacing a negative thought with a positive affirmation,
Okay.
practicing mindfulness for a few minutes, or visualizing yourself achieving a goal.
I like it.
What's one small step you can take to start harnessing the power of your mind?
That's a great challenge. And remember, even small changes can have a ripple effect over time.
They can.
Consistency is key,
It is.
The more you practice these techniques, the
Yeah.
more natural they'll become, and the more you'll reap the benefit.
Exactly. It's like building any new habit.
Right.
It takes effort and dedication, but the rewards are well worth it.
Couldn't agree more.
So keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep believing in the incredible power of your own mind.
Happy hacking, everyone.
Happy hacking.
May your journey be filled with positive transformation
Yes.
and amazing discoveries.
That's all for this episode of The Deep Dive.
See you next time.
Until next time, keep diving deep into the fascinating world of knowledge and self-discovery.